Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here, and today we are going to be a crash test dummy again. Going back to the lab of IDU, checking out some things, and working out some stuff. Now, the first thing that I would like to have a look at is something that I've only ever posted a picture of and never showed anybody how to get. How would you like a shiny new bow skin? Well, let's go and have a look, shall we? Probably help if we had the bow on, but I don't think it matters because we're going to the tutorial. Secret bow skin? What? In the tutorial? Well, how do you unlock it? Oh my god. Why is this in my right hand? Well, apparently I'm right-handed for the purposes of the tutorial. Brilliant. Okay, let's learn how to play IDU, shall we? Place your hand on the string. Place your hand on the string and hold the highlighted button. Oh, teleport arrows. I actually found something out interesting, but not exactly useful for the crossbow as well. Which I will demonstrate a little bit later. I don't know if anyone's been through the tutorial since they put all of the bits and pieces in. I don't know if anyone's actually been through the tutorial recently. Blue flame, look. You used to be able to get up and piss around on this level. Not anymore. I don't think there was a tutorial in the original In Death, hence why. Or I know, right? I know. How'd you accuracy again? Yeah, this I can only assume that Super Bright added this because what's the palette? Well, it's the Abyss is the palette. And we know that Super Bright made Abyss, and I don't think there was a tutorial in the original In Death. So, oh, actually, no, there was, but it was in Purgatory, so they made their own. I did have a look through the tutorial, actually. Right. Scarecrow in the game when? Beanie, if this is a model, why can't we have it? Right. Place your hand on the string. Use highlighted trigger to shoot. Oh. Can you? I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we got to? If we had those guys coming at us? Oh, it'd be amazing. Now, where was it? Here we go. Ready? Spoiled it already. Look at that. Look at that bow skin. Isn't it beautiful? Sponsored by Meta. Yeah. Now, the reason why I came in is because I know about this. And I know how to do it. But what I don't know is if we can get it out of here. I don't think you can. Hey, look, right? At least my Easter eggs are fucking real. Seen this bow before? Only on this channel. Can we actually get in the lava? Can I die in the tutorial? No, they've gated the lava off. They think I am some kind of idiot? Don't answer that. Right. Now, as I said, I know about getting this. Basically, all you do is when you get to this point, and the swapping part comes up, you just fire arrows instead of pressing the button and doing what it tells you. What I am wondering is, how could we get it out? How could we make it so that we keep this when we go into the game? Because, I don't know about you, but that's going to put at least 10 million onto my score. You know? in style points alone. No, can't get through there. It would be about getting out of this area. Oh. How's about secret source techniques? Right, if you don't like cheating, look away now. Hello, LG. Hey, look at the new bow skin we've all got. Huh? Huh? Now, if that isn't going to improve your bow game, I don't know what is. Wha-bam, 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 wha-bam. Look, see? Nothing to get in the way. You can... Oh, the other thing as well, for all of you horizontal users, works fantastically horizontally as well as vertically. If you're a little bit of a diagonal barbarian as well, you are catered for. It's got... I mean, you could even use it upside down. Look at that. Amazing. Now, let's try and get it out of here. I want this one. Hello, Vaughn. Right, hang on a second. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me. Right, if you hear a big bang, it's probably me running into my own wall. No! They've thought of it. Well, this is what I was planning on doing, but I'm seeing it. If I can get out of here... I could die in the tutorial. Okay. Come on. Come on. Because that's not supposed to happen. Come on. No! Well. And there you have it. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining me. Obviously, you know, I wanted to try and get through the tutorial, but we ran into some problems. I'm going to have another quick go of that, and then we'll get on to the actual look of what we're trying to do. Hello, Mark. Damn. Well, maybe you guys should start going for someone else for tips. It's not actually that bad. There is, the one thing that I will say is there is... I know, right? I mean, I want to earn it. I'm trying. It could have been, couldn't it? Die in the tutorial. It's a nice little level, this, you know. I like that blue. I don't even think they use that blue flame anywhere else. I can't remember seeing that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I've never looked up that high. Maybe it's on top of all of the shops. Beanie, sort it out. Tutorial. That light, no source. Just saying. So one of the things that you do get in here as well is you actually get some lore. That's why I like never coming to the tutorial, because it cements the fact that we're the good guy. Is it? I've never noticed. Did that rock just go down? Damn. I didn't know if it was... Yeah, I will have to have a look. I didn't know. Dying in the tutorial is special, even by my standards. So, I'll show you how to get it, just again. So, I mean, if you want to have a play with it. I want to find a way to get it out. Come on, Beanie, you can get this one unlocked for us, surely. So, pick up the wildfire. Kill these guys. Don't press the button. Well, at this stage, rather. When it gets to the swapping stage, don't press the buttons. And then Should hear a clicking noise. Look at that, though. I mean, I know it's it would be ridiculous to play with, but I don't know. I think that'd be quite advantageous. You could, like, you all say that you hold the bow horizontally because of field of view. Well, have a word with Super Bright and see if we can get one of these shiny Quest 2 controller bow skins. Make it happen. Now, I like the idea of Sean, what he said with, we've already died in the tutorial, so we don't need to cover that ground. I like the idea of what Sean said with just quitting back. However, I don't think that'll do anything. I think we need to go out and round. Now, we can't go through there. It'll shunt us back in. We can go into the lava, but we'll die. So... Sorry, say that. What with this? Oh no, I don't want to press the buttons. But yes, you could have all of the quiver slots. Right, let's see what I can do here. 2 seconds. Isn't it good that all the shit that I dick about with in my free time, I'm now streaming, eh? Don't you all just love it? Come on, let me in. Let me in. There's a good boy. Come on now. Ah, I thought I got it then. Right, okay, so it won't let me through there. Fine. It's not invisible. It's an Oculus controller. I know. I will give up soon, don't worry. But what I'm hoping is... if any of you guys don't know the technique that I'm using at the moment... Ow, that really hurt. Burning hot. I am... Ow. This isn't a great start to this tips and tricks video, is it? Right, yeah, you're probably right. I'll have a play with that in my own time because I'm sure it's boring you guys watching me think of ideas to get out of there. So, like an escape room though, wasn't it? Brilliant. So, what are we actually going to do? What questions do we want answered tonight? There's a few. I want to check out how good or bad or just how well spiritual assist works. I mean, you can't say no clipping out of that MacMot. We'll see. I want to see how well spiritual assist works. I want to know the exact numbers for Anakim's floor. Now, when I tested previously back in the beginning of the season, before any of the updates, it was in the 20% region. Part and parcel of the beauty of working out all of this is the techniques that you would use to do it if you're interested in doing these things. So Anakim's floor is something that I want to check out. The reason being why I think that one might be quite useful is Blessed Quiver is, you know, even if this was 25% off of Anakim's total health, Blessed Quiver is still better. What I want to know with Anakim's floor is how much damage it does exactly, or no, rather, not damage, how much it takes. Yeah, that's... No, you should, but there's something else that I want to check out on Spiritual Assist as well, because I do believe that there may be a scoring glitch, potentially, but we'll have a look at that. And yeah, it wouldn't work on the crossbow. I shouldn't have to explain why. There's 2 examples for you. Here's a third. Crossbow is either on or not, so doesn't matter about draw strength. It's always at full with the crossbow. The other things, so we've already uncovered the Easter egg of the evening. Let me just consult my little book of armaments. Chapter 3. Secret bowskin, check. Anakim's floor and spiritual, okay. The other one that I want to check out tonight, which should be quite quick, and we can do it at the same time as doing Anakim's, kinda, is a while back I had a chat with Beanie, and he told me, you do know that 7 is the amount of items that is in every level. you get 7 drops in every level. I want to find out the exact numbers of everything, because if each level, does that mean each level, as in Purgatory, is a level? Is Purgatory a different level to Pit, or is Purgatory Pit a level and then Anakim, or is it so many drops across Anakim, Pit, and the actual level? So that one, I feel, is quite important, because we've all been there where you are pushing various bits and pieces within the game to try and get drops, to try and help you out within your run because you've had a drought or something along those lines. And inevitably you end up taking risks, like going into the pit to try and get the things that you need to be able to deal with a higher level or even a lower level Anakim. Is it worth doing? What are the numbers that are in, that are around all of that? Well, let's find out. So we can combine these things. Okay, I'm glad you've jumped in here, Beanie. So, yes, it is, yeah. So, what are we saying here, Beanie? We're saying there is going to be 7 drops across the level, minus the shop. Hello, Travis. 7 drops across the level, minus the shop, or including the shop, or the shop doesn't count. So we're also saying that there's 7 drops in the pit, and we're saying there's 7 drops in Anakim's area, yeah? Because that doesn't sound right. So the way that we're going to test this is I'm just going to shoot through. And I'll do it with a crossbow because I can be pretty fast with that. And we're not going to pick up a thing. 1. We're back to counting. God, I outlined his head then. So that's 1. Who's got our next one? 2. So how many are in the pits and bosses then? Is that... Because, so basically, I'm not having a go at Beanie, I'm just trying to get exact numbers. Up to 7. Okay. Because one of the other things that he told me as well, and again, I don't think it was said in secret or anything along those lines, because we're always asking Beanie, what's this, what's that, what's the other? You have the code. Tell us. And so is that 3? We've got a wildfire, we got a cat, and we got another wildfire over there. Let's make sure we kill everything. So yeah, I suppose at the very least, I don't think it's common knowledge that there are a certain amount of drops. The other thing that Beanie told me as well is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here, Beanie, but the level is predetermined with the drops. It'll obviously be randomly selected, but like, so for instance, when we start Purgatory, we know that there are, as I understand it, there are 7 enemies that will drop. And those enemies are set from the moment that we step into the level. Obviously, it's not set as in, they're randomly selected. And then what is within each of those 7 enemies will probably be randomly selected at the point of picking, if not at the point of the actual drop. That bit I don't know. So, what are we saying? Is that 3? And these are all interesting things to me, and things that I think are worth working out and finding. I mean, I've definitely got drops within the pit, but I've always looked at it along the lines of, so does that mean we are definitely going to get 4 drops within the pit plus the 3 rewards? Or is it the 3 rewards with a chance of another 4? do the rewards even count towards the 7? These are all things that it's going to take a hell of a lot of data for us to determine. 4. But yeah, I'm basically, we're just revisiting here something that me and Beanie were chatting about a while back, and I've never done it. I've always thought like, well, hang on a second. I'm sure there's times where I've had more than 7 drops, and hang on a second, I'm sure there's times where I've had less. Confirmation bias. I think that's 5 now, isn't it? With that extra wildfire. Yeah, I mean, you say, I say confirmation bias with that, Sean, because I've had absolutely amazing, thank you, Travis. Because you can keep count, because I can't. Yeah, we've all had lousy drops in Purgatory, and they always come when we really need good drops. We've also all had amazing drops in Purgatory. I've had plenty of times where I get Grace of God on the first enemy that I kill within Purgatory. So what he wants to know is, like, I mean, it's a worthy question, actually. Is there any sort of factoring in of what level you are at, what cycle, what world you are in, what cycle you're on, or anything along those lines, as far as... Oh, right, okay. Again, confirmation bias, though. I've had lousy ones, and I've had good ones. And because, you know, it always feels like it's a lot lousier than it actually is. Six. Now, does the orphan count towards that number, Beanie? So can we then say it's 7 plus the orphan? Now, so as I was saying, the reason why I think this is useful is there's been plenty of times where, like, for instance, I might have already had a load of drops. Okay. Now, does that count as? Because, like, for instance, where have you gone? Have you gone down the bottom, you little shit? So, right, so don't count that one, because I don't think that's part of the level. But we have definitely... now, are you counting the one that we've found on the level? Because that one up there, that Blood of the Lamb, was a drop, not... was a part of the level, or, like, level loot. So, that one is level loot. That one is level loot. So, already, we're up to 9. So, if this rule of 7 is as... hard and fast as Beanie's saying it is, then that would mean these don't count. So that would, so we're saying, let's say for at the moment 7, because, like, for instance, so we've got that one there and the Blood of the Lamb. Now, they were level loot. Those are items that you get from the So that's another one. So this one and that one over there are the ones that you get from the achievement such and such level drops more loot, or there are hidden treasures within. So that's 7 kills. Oh, or 7 enemies that we've killed, normal enemies. Because, like, one of the questions that I would then have is, Well, then in that case, does the orphan 8? Does the orphan count towards all of this? And if the orphan counts towards this magic number of how many drops you can get, should we kill everything in the level so that we've got the maximum number of drops and then kill the orphan dead last for an extra one? These are the things that interest me as to how you could be more efficient within your game. So that is 8 enemy drops, not including the orphan. There's an extra one there, so that's 11 drops through the level already. 8 of which are from enemies. Because I've had times where I find I'm getting more than 7. And I've had times where I'm getting what feels like a lot less than 7. So, test 1 complete. So we have had, what did I say that was? That's 9 drops through the level from enemies, 1 from the orphan, and 3 in the level. 3 as in hidden loot. Yes, that's correct, but we want to know which one is which and how they are determined. So, 1, still more. Better make sure. So what are we saying? We're saying there was 9 drops. There's that one back there. And we found 2 more. So there have been 3 level drops. There have been 9 actual drops. Abyss, yeah, Abyss is random chance as to whether you get it or not. So there's some data. Now, based on all of that, we have a total. And what are we saying? We're saying 9 plus 3 is 12, 13 from the... Because basically what I want to know is, across Purgatory, how many drops am I going to get? If there is a definite number, I want to know that number, excluding the shop. There's always 5 in the shop. So right, so this is only 1 run, though. We've got to do some more. And I didn't get any Winter's Bites, so I can't really test what I was going to try and test with Anakim's amulet. And then we're saying that the pit is in addition to all of this. So that's 9 drops from enemies, 3 in the level, 1 from the orphan. Is that right? 9 plus 3 plus the 1, 13, I think. Oh. So let's go and quickly count up again, just to make sure I haven't missed any. And then we'll jump in the pit, spin through that quickly, get a number. Because I've always wondered, if you clear the entire level, is there something to do with the numbers of drops based on what you would then get in the pit then? There's been plenty of times where I've cleared the entire level praying for a drop in the pit and only got 1 plus the rewards. And the 1 usually comes from the orphan. So, these are things. 1. 2. I think that one only appears once. I think that's a guaranteed drop, the one at the end of Purgatory. What did I say that was? 2. 3. Try and not count these twice. So 3 in the first section. Hang on, I'll finish that point in a minute. 3. Yeah. But these ones in here. Nope. Yeah, Purgatory always has that drop, and I think that is part of the loot thing that we were talking about, the achievement that you get for that unlocks, or you will find more hidden loot or more hidden items, I think it says, within it. So we're going for a grand total here. So that's 4. 5. Oh, you need to get back in it, Mock. 5. Let's look at the top. Nothing on top of there. So there is... Sorry, I'm trying to keep count. I'm trying not to forget the numbers. There is a reason why... 6... No, I'm not mocking. I've just... It's... I'll tell you what I'm trying... It's... There's a good reason. Because there's things that I've done in the past. So 6... 6... 7... Oh, you're talking to fish. I see. 7. 8. 9. Counting with the silver tongue devil. 9. Wasn't there one up here? No. 9. 10. 11. Oh, I think I missed one. Ooh. I think I missed one. Or maybe they've disappeared. Beanie's taken them to prove his point. He's zipped them up. I think I missed the 2 where the orphan was. Because there was a blood there, and I don't think I counted those 2. So I believe that was 13. We know that we're always going to get 3 out of that. But then enemies can drop drops. So let us... Since we've got the pit open, let's quickly spin back to that. Do the pit quick. See how many we get from there. That gives us a bit of a baseline numbers-wise. And the other thing that I want to do as well... Yes, yeah, I've had drops. What, a random drop or a drop from an abomination in that room? When you say Anakim's Fortress, I assume you mean the downstairs bit. I mean, I've had drops from the archers and abominations and knights. Well, as you know, thinking on, it was probably just the archers. Because, like, how many... There's definitely not 7 drops for Anakim. Okay, we can test with that. So, we're doing a bit of doubling up on the old testing today. Oh, right before the portal? No, I've never... don't think I've had anything right before the portal. Yeah, let's spin through the tip. Quick. What were we saying? Alright, that's the pit. No, we'll count. We'll go again. So... Why does this matter? Why do I get told something and then why do I check it out? It all harks back to... You remember when we all used to think that we knew how the executioner bonus worked? And that there was lots of people, myself included, that put lots of time and lots of testing into it, and then we found out that we were completely wrong. Well, not completely wrong, but the thing worked within the confines of what we needed it to. It worked for purposes of, but we didn't actually know until Beanie got it direct from the devs and found out exactly how it works. So this is part of the reason. It's not that I don't believe Beanie, but I want to see it for myself and see what the factor is. Because, okay, so the important thing is, I get the impression that because we've got loads of items, right, this would be applied knowledge and would be useful. If you went through, because I've been asked it loads of times, when people get to that point of, I'm a bit low on resources, I've cleared the level, I've just got the pit to do, is it worth it? Now, I always say that it is, you know, you're here for points. If you're scoring, you're here for points. So, you always... No. I've never seen drops from a ghost. I've never seen... No, that's cool. No, but that's the thing is, it's good that you find these things because then I can push them and see what's right, what's not, what's practical and what isn't. Gives me a reason to stream. Yeah, ghosts and cupids I've never seen. Right, that's our first drop, but we're going to go out on a limb and say they don't count towards any limits because you always... I mean, you wouldn't always get them, but you could miss them. And so it would be a bit unfair, you would like to think, of Super Bright to count the orphan's drop within your drops on the basis that you could miss it. However, this is the Dark Souls of the VR world. And it's not supposed to be an easy game, so maybe they would. I'm trying to think what else wouldn't drop. So, like, back in the day, I did some testing on various minions, like in Anakim's lair. Neither should you. I've had drops during Anakim's lair from abominations and knights, but they spawn infinitely. So does that mean that the random chances are done every time? Could you sit in Anakim's lair farming his minions to get drops? Is there a time when you should? Like, for instance, because I've definitely had drops whilst I've been in Anakim's. And so this is like another question within the questions. I don't know how obscure the code is, but like my 2 cents on coding would be the people who are trying to work with it are not the ones that made it. And so it can be almost like, in some circumstances, even though a lot of things achieve the same things, it can be like... excuse me. Yes, that's a very good point. Well put in that, man. Yeah, ghosts. And so, in that circumstance as well, on that logic, I mean, I don't think I've seen an incubi drop anything, ever. So is that our pit clear? I do believe it is. And how many drops did we get from enemies? 0, except the one from the orphan. Sorry, I was on to some threads with some questions. Let me just have a quick look. And yeah, nice one, Alan. I have done, because when I was doing my Anakim farming, it was on Purist. But good question, K2. And the other thing as well is, as with all games, when things aren't necessarily understood down to the nth degree, and even when they are, change one thing. How many times has something been fixed in a game through an update, but then something else breaks? How many times has that happened? It happens all the fucking time. So let's... I've had drops from enemies. So, I've had more than one as well. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the amount of drops that you get across a level are including the pit. And so, if you were to go through the level, kill everything, unlock all the drops, the only thing that's going to be waiting for you in the pit is the orphan reward and those. Because I've had that plenty of times. I've always made a point of, and I always recommend... yeah. I've always made a point of clearing the level before I go to the pit. And then I wonder why I very rarely see much in the pit other than the rewards and what the orphan brings. Now, why is this useful knowledge and how can this be applied? Well, so going back to what we were talking about, if you were going through Purgatory, you're doing a scoring run, you get to the point where it's like, I'm a little bit fucked on resources, I've counted and I know I've had all of my drops, the only thing that's waiting for me in the pit is the orphan, which is going to be a bit of a shit drop and not really what you're going to be after, and the 3 rewards. I think you could be much better informed on the decision of whether you do that pit or not based on how much you've cleared in the level. So let's go and have a look at Anakim quick. Because we're testing 2 things. I think I put Spiritual Assist on. I can't remember. Not Spiritual Assist. I think I put Anakim's on. Sorry, thank you, Sean. I went looking back for that one. So as I understand it, depending on the configuration that you go into, the spawn points are... yeah, that's the next test and see if we get more than that, which I've definitely have. Like, for instance, there's plenty of times where I've come into Anakim's expecting 3 guys here and only had 1. There's plenty of times where I've been expecting 3 guys here and there's only been 1, and so on and so on. So what I think works, and hello Cam, what I think is the case... what I think is the case with that, Sean, is there are a set number of spawn points all across the level, and the amount of enemies that spawn within that little set is randomly determined. But then, and this is why you can get fluctuations on numbers. But there'll be a minimum and a maximum number that can be generated. So let's say, for instance, I mean, just to put it into context, let's say, for instance, I know this is not the case, but let's say, for instance, we just come into Anakim's and there was 3 spawns here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Let's say 4. These 4 flagstones. Each one of those represents a spawn point. The way that I think it works is all of those spawn points are valid spawn points. The game rolls to determine how many of those spawn points are going to be filled up and what's in them. But, like, for instance, some of them have to be certain enemies, like archers up on the fortressy battlement things. And then either 1, 2, 3, or 4 will be picked, and then they'll be spawned in. But there'll be then lots and lots and lots of little instances of that all the way across a level, and lots of places where they could spawn. It may even be to the point where it's like this. Spawn point there, and it's all calculated across the level. Anyway, numbers. What's that? 100. Right, okay. I wish they wouldn't do that. 155. 155 is the figure that we're working with. So we can determine that 150... Yeah, I've definitely had it. I'm pretty sure I've definitely had it from archers. Like, for instance, when you complete Anakim, not hit Anakim a second. When you complete Anakim and all the archers die. Let's get another one on him. 106. 106. So that's 155 and 106, and that's without Anakim's floor, I think. Or is it with Anakim's floor? I can't remember what I put on. 106 and 155. Because what I did is I tested this on the first couple of cycles, and I didn't go any further. What do we have on? We had Anakim's floor on. So that was 155. Now, let's have a look here. Because we've got to do some other math quick as well. I know, right? Math. Because again, I was looking at this. Frozen damage over time. It deals additional damage based on 5% of enemy's maximum health. Is that damage based on 5% of enemy... that must be 5% of enemy's maximum health per tick. I reckon. Frozen damage over time deals additional damage based on 5% of enemy's max health. And we know that freezing hell does 7 points of damage each and every time. So what do we have? 151 minus 7. So that would be 100 and... if anyone wants to do some math, that'd be great. So 143 was the tick damage. If each tick is... each tick cannot be 5% of, otherwise he would be dead after the 8. Join the Discord. Oh, what? IDU? Yeah, just now. Just joined it. Just then. Excellent. What are we saying? 155 minus 7. So that's 148. Let's turn Anakim's floor off. Yeah. Okay, I'm testing some things. I want to know exactly how much damage Anakim's taken. So we've always looked at it along the lines of he takes 5% damage. He takes 5% of his damage based on his maximum health, but it's not 5 because those life bars are fucking long, and he ends up losing about 20% the first time. So this might be a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be, actually. So we might need to determine... Well, there are 1 or 2 things that we can do because we know some permanents. Like, for instance, if I remember... I'm not going to bash them, but if I remember rightly, Beanie said a Black Knight has exactly 1000 HP on cycle 1. I'm pretty sure that's right as well, because you can hit them for 992, which is the maximum amount of damage that you can score with a long-range bow headshot with vanilla arrows. 1. Yeah, I think it's 25. 1. 2. So one of those 2 is a level drop. Well, let's try and keep track. So that's 1 and 1. So we've had 1 actual level drop. Because I think there's a finite number of level drops as well. Oh, right, not me. Hey! 2 and 1. Yeah, I know it calculates based on health left. Because I make a point of saying that over and over again. 2 and 1. 2 and 1. 2 and 1. So we've had 2 normal drops. Well, no, because The problem with the way that we've always talked about Winter's Bite, and it might need to be rediscussed to get exact damage numbers, is it's always diminishing returns. We know that, and we know that it's diminishing returns because, excuse me, it's always diminishing returns because the damage that it does is based on the health that the enemy has remaining, not how much health they have overall. If it always did their max HP and not their current max HP, then you would be able to kill Anakim in, let's say it was 20% per Winter's Bite, you'd be able to kill Anakim in 5 shots. Hellfire. So that's 3 and 1. 3 and 1. Well, get me one, Beanie. 3 and 1. I'll take one. I like the pass-through thing. I'd be able to show you guys my room that I play in and all the board games that I have in here through the pass-through thing. What a great feature. But it does look better, I'll give it that much. So that's... We're 3 and 1 so far. That's 3 drops from enemies, 1 drop from the level, 4 and 1. Oh, yeah, I have heard that as well, actually, on the Pico. 4 and 1. Leader beats. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. She just said that really weirdly then. See? See? Why is it saying leader beats? Oh, is that because that's how you spelt it? Yeah, no, you definitely spelt it right. I hope not. I've got a massive library of games that I have no intention of playing on the Quest already. I don't want to have to start again on the Pico. 4 and 1 we're at now. There's what we need for later. So that's... We're not going to count the orphan one within this. So that is 4 and 1, and we're not counting the orphan. I don't think that's part of the calculation. Or I don't know. We're going to find out. 5 and 1. So what I'm hoping is maybe if we do another one of these and another pit, well, the numbers will be the same or near as damn it. But at the moment we're at 4 and... is it 4 and 1 or 5 and 1? God damn it. I think it's 5 and 1. 5 drops and 1 on the level. Hey! Touch me with that hand, you don't know where that's been. 5 and 1. Of course he is! He's back! 5 and 1. There is that one. Yep, cool. 6 and 1. Thank you, Ray. And 2. Oh, sorry, 2. Sorry, Michael, I'll be with you. And sorry, repeat the question. I'm trying to count. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. 6 and 2. 6 and 2. I'm going to be selling all of my board game collection. Well, probably selling most of it at some point because I'm going to be digitizing it all by the sounds of things. Talk about that later. 6 and 2. 6 and 2. 6 and 2. 6 and 2. You've already been counted. Or can you not live stream straight from the headset? That could be a bit of a pain in the arse. Oh, I suppose you can just do it the same way as we're doing it now. 6 and 2. So. I know, right? Purgatory. Purgatory where you get all the shit drops, right? 7 and 2. I'm hoping there's going to be 2 more out of these enemies, and then we've got some numbers that have been the same. I knew to count that one, so that's 7 and 3. Three, 7 and 3, 7 and 3. So, oh yeah, sorry. No, you did say Purgatory Pits. It is. I can only assume that it is random, and I'm being told that it's random. 7 and 3. So, this number might line up with what Beanie's been saying. 7 and 3. 7 and 3. 7 and 3. So, I think that's everything. Can't hear any of the buggers. Let's have a quick look. 7 and 3. 7 and 3. 7 and 3. So I make that 7 drops from the game, from enemies. 3 drops from the level. So, does this now mean that there will be some extra drops in the pit because we didn't do very well in the actual level? And if you were keeping stock and counting this, would this be useful information to have when determining how you are going to continue your run, be it high cycle or low? These are the questions. So, let's kill everything. Well, we haven't, I don't think. But then, what is the cap? Hello, Debs. Ow! Come on, I just want your drop. Show me the loot. Right. Not gonna count that. Unholy Wind doesn't even count anyway. Well, yeah, he said the caps in a level is 7 drops. Now, what I'm trying to determine is what is that 7? Because we've already had more than that on every single, on the metric that we thought it was. Because in the last one, I had at least 9 drops in the game from enemies. And then another 3. I can hear you guys. And then another 3 in the level. At the moment, we are on 7 drops from enemies. And 3 from the level again. So, and I've got a feeling that the loot that is actually on a level I mean, yeah. So what we're saying, that's 7. We haven't had another one yet. It's kind of hoping to get one. It's kind of hoping that we might be able to get a number. So that's the pit opener. Oh, no, yeah, that's the pit opener. Yeah, season end. Come on now. Whoa, don't pick that up. It's like it's one of the other things that I've wondered as well. If the actual numbers aren't fixed, then does it matter if you pick things up? Does that determine how many? Because that's what one factor that I did try out before, and I want to know if you pick them up or if you don't is a factor. I don't think it is. Yeah, no, that's fine. Because we've been told loads of things from various people, and it's like, gotta test these things. Hey, it gives me something to do. You guys are space to chat and ask questions in. Hey, look, the stream's already a massive success. We've unlocked the Oculus bow. So in the pit, no drops, 1 unholy wind. That was from the orphan. All enemies dead. I think. Sounds like it. So, yeah, I know, right? Way good. Needed. Right, let's have a count up grand total wise. It should be 7 plus 3, so 10. I know, right? I have my money on October. I know, but that's the thing is, another time we might do it, and that might be 2 hands of God, or it might be a wrath and a hand of God. This is what I mean by confirmation bias. It's the whole process of you see a thing happen a few times, and so the mind tries to put a pattern to it. Hell, it's exactly what I'm doing here. That your mind will always try and put a pattern to random events. And confirmation bias allows us to do that when you see a thing happen multiple times. I'm trying to think of an example. If you went through a deck of cards, right, it would always be, if you went through 2 decks of cards that are shuffled, you would consider yourself lucky to see the same, say, 2 or 3 cards, if they're shuffled well, in a row from both decks. However, upscale that to 100 decks, and it would be almost guaranteed that, well, not guaranteed, but a much higher chance that across those 100 decks of 52 cards, that as you are going through them, you would find 3 of the same together. You could then say, oh, that's fixed then, because, you know, how could that happen? It's supposed to be random. Well, you will see patterns in randomness, and it depends on how many times or how fewer times you do a thing. Hopefully that's a decent explanation, I think. 1. Let's count them up. Start, and then go again. 2. Shuffled. No, shuffled. You got to shuffle these decks. In this example, you would shuffle both decks. 3. For the random factor. I mean, to be fair, you might be right. There'd be more chance, a lot higher chance of you getting it across 100 decks of cards, going through the 52 and finding 3 in the same identical cards in the same order. That's 3. And then cool. And yes, you're quite right in that the odds are identical mathematically, but you then need to use a sample size to then look at what is random and what is not. 4. 4. Hang on. 5. If you're disagreeing with me, then I haven't explained myself very well, so bear with me. 5. Just let me have a little count up, and then we'll go and pop some damage on Anakim. I think I remember the number. 5. It's a good memory exercise, this, you know? You know how I always say I've got a shocking memory? I still have a shocking memory. Well, this is what we're looking at now. 6. Six. 7. Apparently 7. 8. 8, yeah. Yes, what Al said, 8. No. It's not about embarrassment, and it is always... It's not about embarrassment, and it is always about questioning. If you don't question... 9. If you don't question, how can you fucking learn? You must question. 10. So that's 10 drops across the level. 7 of those were from enemies. 3 of them were map loot. That one is always here on Anakim's. We know that. So that's 10. And I think last time we had 13. And that was 3 across the level. Oh, actually, hang on. Am I counting the orphan within that? I think I am. So that would give us 6, 3, 1. No. So basically what I'm trying to determine here is there a time when the game screws you and you get, like, is it random, the amount of drops? And I think, the reason why I think it is I was going through Runner on Purgatory whilst I was trying to determine some best levels and the times to do them on and so on. And different instances of me doing Runner had different totals. Now, that one doesn't count. To the Sanctuary. I'm not going back to the Sanctuary. We're here now. Right, so... the other thing that we're here to do as well, I'm trying to do multiple load testing. Beanie is quite right in that the damage should be determined based off of the first hit. What's that? Damn it, I can't see. 192. 192. So what did we have? So we're saying 192 minus 7 is 185. So you've got 185 and 151 minus 7. Right, so we can go back now. Let's get out of that because that's a high stress situation. Oh, high stress, cycle 1. Right, so on the Winter's Bite front, numbers wise, and again, probably I'll go back and check these if we find exact correlations. So, with Anakim's Bite, crossbow shot at an approximately the same distance, i.e. at the bottom of the stairs. I don't like using approximates when it comes to numbers. But we had 156 per tick with Spiritual Assist. With Anakim's Floor. We had 192 without Anakim's Floor. Now, that is correct. It should be lower with Anakim's Floor because the medium that we are using to testing does damage based on current health. If we are reducing his overall health, then it's lower. So why am I doing testing on this? Long story short, I'm trying to determine whether this is better than that for Fletcher. Because if I can give myself an easier time, a much easier time on Anakim, I would be tempted to take it over Unusual Fortitude. Because Anakim is my, in Fletcher, when I'm getting like cycle 7, cycle 8, that's when he becomes tough. If I can kill him quicker, then I don't have to worry about having as much life because he's already dead. I accommodate so much life for so many misses within Anakim, and it just takes one knight to hit you or one archer to get a shot off on you that you haven't accommodated for because you haven't killed him quickly. Like, I'm wondering if with Anakim's Flaw on Fletcher, I could burn down Anakim 8 quite easily. So, now the next thing that we need to determine. Are you definitely sure you've tested that? Definitely sure, and that's what you've done. And you know how much damage a Winter's Bite normally does. Oh, we need to be killing things. Oh, right, okay, yeah, you're just going... Yeah, okay. Yeah, because you... Or we have the formula for how much... But have you... what I'm saying is, you're saying that that's what the height... The... Okay, so the health increase is 5%, but what is the damage... What is the reduction? 1. Ooh... Yes, that's right. We picked up the Winter's Bite from the Orphan. So, 1. Last time. So, I think we were on 11 last time. Good old crossbow. I do like the crossbow for testing. It's nice and quick. Because if that's the case, because here's something that I want to test. So, we're saying that Winter's Bite does 5% of damage across the 8 ticks that it does. And it's... Let's kill these. Sick. Because what I want to know, as I understand it, Cycle 1, this guy has 1,000 health. So if Winter's Bite does exactly 5% of his... Well, hang on, let's just shoot him. 27. Take 7 off of that. 20 per tick. Eight ticks, 20, 28 ticks, 160. He has 1,000. So that would be 16% plus the 7. Would the 7 make the odds there? 20. I need a calculator. Oh, 2. 2 seconds. I can't do that on my computer. Yeah, because the arrow damage dealt with Winter's Bite is 7. So are we saying that it is 5% across? Yeah, so it was doing 27 points of damage per tick. We take the 7 off of that to determine what this game is saying 5% of current health is. And so that would be 160 points of damage, not including the 7, 160 points of damage. Oh yeah, no, that is a good point. So then we need to determine how much damage I did. To be fair then, it sounds like you've done all of this, so if you have, I'll do what I was doing. If you've got all the numbers and all the bits and pieces, so the only thing that I want to know is whether Anakim's Flaw. Yes, I should. I haven't got it on at the moment, not in here. Right, let's go and recount what we were doing. Cool. Video coming soon, Cam? Okay. Right, let's have a quick recount whilst we're here. I think it was 2 here. And none of them were actual level drops. They were all enemy drops. Oh, didn't kill you. It's the only problem with the testing side of things, especially if I'm trying to count numbers and remember numbers, is I can't really engage you guys much in the old conversation side of things, so feel free to chat amongst yourselves. 1. Okay, 1, and I've picked up Winter's Bite. That's why I've got 2. Now I remember. That's 2. 2. And neither of those were level drops. What I'm hoping to see is that we always see 3 level drops in Purgatory. And then the numbers probably change on different levels as well. But we'll see. That's 3 enemy. Oh! Check this out. You remember I was saying I found something weird about the crossbow? If you draw a teleport arrow, but hold the button down, you now draw teleport arrows all the time. So, you know, you guys were saying, it basically means that I can control the arrow with the trigger instead of... Oh, it's disorientating. Basically means that I can control the teleport arrow like a standard arrow, or the same motion as long as I am holding A. So at the moment I'm holding A down. So instead of drawing and pressing the A button, I don't know. I don't know if it's useful. I find it quite useful if I was ever gonna, you know, try and do the pit with teleport arrows only when. But yeah, instead of draw, fire, drawing with A, firing, if you hold down, it is A, isn't it? If you hold down A, you can draw and fire with the triggers. How many is that? I can't remember now. I think it's 4. Hope someone's counting. Start doing things. Oh, 0 point purgatory. When? Oh, you can't get 0 points though because you're killing enemies. You don't get any points for killing enemies with a teleport arrow. Or not any actual points from the teleport arrow kill itself. Even a headshot doesn't count. Thank you, Ray. Right, back to normal. I thought it was 4. Bear in mind, yeah, sorry, 3, and then I've picked one up. I think so. 4. See, this is the one thing. I don't know. Now that I've mentioned it, I do find myself doing it when I'm teleporting arrows. See, the thing is, like, normally why Anakim's flaw is not even up for consideration in the main game is, well, how do we kill Anakim? Well, we kill Anakim. The damage dealer that we're using is something that is dealing damage to him based on his amount of health. The larger the health pool he has, the more damage the thing that we're doing, Winter's Bite, is doing. If you reduce the overall health pool, then you reduce in essence the effectiveness of Winter's Bite. Does that matter in the long scheme of things? No. So with Anakim's flaw using Winter's Bite, or with Anakim's flaw without using Winter's Bite, if you just used Winter's Bite to kill Anakim, you would kill him in the same number of arrows and the same number of, well, nearest damn it. My point being is you might kill him a little quicker, a tiny bit quicker with Anakim's flaw, but you wouldn't... 2 seconds. 5. I knew there was going to be one there. And that's a level drop one as well. That's the first one. But yeah, the long and the short of it is if you are... Or what's that? There's another level drop one. Ah, shit. What's that? 8? So 2 level drops, and then... Why do I have to start talking? Fuck! Had some numbers then. That was a level drop. That one was a level drop. So we've had 2 level drop ones. Quiver, ball lightning. 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. My memory shit. I think it was 8 total, but I'm just going to quickly spin back and have a look. Whew, a lot of back and forward in this one. Why did I do it that way? Hang on. I thought I might have just found something then. So if I'm holding A to bring that up and using the trigger to do it, what happens if I hold the trigger down, but use... Oh, you can't do it the other way around. Or, well, I suppose you can, but... well, yeah, that's the same as just pressing A. Cool. Sorry, say that again, Cam. I missed that. I was internal monologuing. Oh, I should just read it and have a quick smoke. Well, you say that, but I do find it incredibly frustrating to play Fletcher. Yeah, I think it was... Oh. Yeah, well, that's your own cross to bear, so to speak, Beanie. You're part of the crew now, aren't you? So that's, you know, you're supposed to be supporting the decision for 1,701 ghosts to get Hand of God. Support the decision. Don't, you know, it's the grind. You love it. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of, it's the reason why I do Fletcher the way that I do it, is because it just feels like there are so many things out of your control, which is cool, but there are so many things out of your control, so many things that can go wrong and turn a great run into a shit one in seconds. At least with Purist, it's always your own fault because you've, you know, taken too many risks whilst you haven't got the crutch of slow time to use. I'm sure there was drops. Yeah, damn straight. I mean, there's probably a lesson in there somewhere. 1, 2 from the quiver. Buckle that fucking shoe. 2. And then we'll probably do this one more time to see. Because there's one thing that's looking the same, possibly on each run, is that the level has 3 drops. 3. 4. So we're saying that's 4. 5, 6, 7. So we'll say 5 and 2. 5 and 2. Is Fletcher a success though? I don't think there's that many people that are playing it, to be honest. 5 and 2. I hope it is, because I like Fletcher. 5 and 2. Thought I heard someone behind me then. 5 5 and 2. Now, what we should see is we shouldn't see another level drop until we get into Anakim's, which would then mean we've had it on 2 or 3 occasions now, where the amount of items in a level is 3 total. We're not going to count that one because that's the orphan, but for intensive purposes, 5, 2, 1. Six, 2, 1. Sorry, 2 seconds. 6, 2, 1. 6, 2, 1. 6, 2, 1. You know I'd heard one of you teleporting around. 6, 2, 1. 6, 2, 1, 6, 2, 1. Probably trying to compile too many numbers here. 6, 2, 1. Six, 2, 1. And then, so we can add the one on right at the end. So that would make it 6, 3, 1. So, hang on, let's do that first. Okay, so we might be on to... There may have been a... Well, of course there's going to be an element of truth in it. There's always a truth hidden within the lie. So that puts us at 6, 3, 1. So if what Beanie said... Nice leap, dude. If what Beanie said is correct, that there are 7 drops from across a level... then what he might be talking about is there are 7 drops from enemies alone across a level. And if that number is determined, that should be the last drop that we see from an enemy. So, I think... Because that's twice in a row now. I think the first one, I've probably just got confused in the counting. So that's 7, 3, 1. 7 drops from enemies. 3 drops from the level, again. So 7 drops from enemies, again. 3 drops from the level, again. And 1 drop from an orphan. So, there may be something... that we can determine there. But we'll probably have to do it again. Joy! So I'm going to go as far as to say we should not see, hopefully, another drop. Got to go back and do the pit. And in the pit there should not be a single drop other than the orphan. And then we've got 7, 3, 1 again, which would be nice. But this is the thing, is if we can keep getting the same numbers over and over again. Wow. No, but one just plays a different way when that doesn't work. Adapt, overcome. Let's go. So we're looking at 7, 3, 1 at the moment. So what would I expect? So this is why this could be useful. I've had all of my drops from the enemies in the level. I've had all of the level drops, and I still haven't got what I wanted. I even got the drop from the orphan, and I still haven't got what I wanted. I've had all of my drops for Purgatory, which means that that is only going to give me the orphan drop, which we know is always a low tier arrow and usually fucking garbage, but it could be Winter's Bite, which is common, which is good. And then, yes, we have. Yes, we've been testing the drops from the very start. And then the 3 rewards. Now, the rewards can be good or they can be shit. So, because again, the thing that put me onto this is when I was told there's 7 drops total across each level. It's like, I need a bit of clarification on that. Now, 7 is potentially a number that is in use here, but it may determine how many drops from regular enemies you get across a cycle. So the next thing that we'll need to do, because I think we need to do this one more time, the next thing that we will do is we'll try that on Paradise Lost and see if we get the same numbers. Because there is also something that we can determine about the achievements from this as well. Because, ow, I get stuck on there. I was totally strafing. So yeah, how can this be applied knowledge? Well, you could be on fucking death's door, but or not on death's door, but you might have all the things that you need in your quiver and got nothing drops wise, and you're looking at going into the pit. You can now determine exactly what you're going to take away from the pit before you've even gone in there, or not what, but how many, and then you can weigh those things up on your chances. So we're not gonna, let's not count that one. Pop in there so we don't count that one. That is not a drop from this level. That is the orphan. We are going to say that that is determined differently from the enemies. And then the other test that we need to do that somebody said about earlier was, okay, so if you went in the pit first, would that skew the numbers, or would you get the same numbers across the entire thing? Well, whenever you walk into anything, you'll get that black screen. And you will also... I mean, you could try what I did at the very start. You could use all of that space to try and get out of the level with the Oculus bow skin intact. Don't know if you know about that or not. Yeah. Yeah, actually. I thought they'd taken that out as well. I thought when you... Well, no, I didn't think they'd taken that out. I thought when you do that, it just throws you back in. Well, hang on a second, because we might go and find a way to do something else in a minute. Not that one. Alright, let's get in position. Let's try and walk through this wall. Don't know what happens when... Yeah, so you get put back. What, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I just did it then. I don't know what you guys can see, or if it... Because I'd imagine there's some sort of privacy element when I try and do that. But if I... keep my back to the wall... Get nice and close. Pause. Walk through. Unpause. I get teleported back. Oh, no, but I need to get there. Oh, come on. You don't need to do that, Cam. Quit cheating. Jesus. Come on now. You're better than that, Cam. Now, I know you can do those things. I know you can look, but I want to land. I want to be the other side. Let's just try it. Because if I can do that and I can get out of the tutorial, but not in the regular way, I might be able to unlock the Oculus bow skin. What happens when I actually pause the game? I've never known. It just throws me back out. I don't know if you guys can see what I see in that circumstance. So... well... It's I know we are running out. We are running a little dry. Okay. So one more test before we start saying things. That's right. We're going to start saying some things. So working theory at the moment is across Purgatory there are 3 drops within the level that are spawned by the level, one of which is right at the end. 7 drops. 7 drops. Anakim's room is... oh, right, okay. I don't know. Something I did see the other day, actually, is the pit in Abyss is below Abyss. I know that much. To be fair, I've looked up and seen that before anyway, so... that would be quite cool. Yeah, no, that'd be good. But I think you'll find, if I'm right, it definitely is, because I've had glitches in the map where you can see through. In fact, I might be able to recreate that, but let's carry on doing what we were doing. I think I can show you that it is, because I've had a glitch where all the walls disappeared whilst I was in Anakim's, and I looked up and to the right behind me, and you could see all of this in miniature. So it's like further on and below. So... oh, shizer. Start again. That's not what I was supposed to be doing. It's not what I was supposed to be doing! Because we've all definitely have drops in the pit. Definitely. Definitely. Everyone's had a drop in the pit other than the orphan. Right? Right? So, let's get to the pit. Let's find the pit. Let's jump straight in the pit. Kill everything. We might have to do it a couple of times to try and determine whether it's a thing or not. Because it is going to be based on chance. But you would then like to think that if what we've been told that all of the item drop locations are predetermined when we step into the level, i.e. there are 7 enemies across the level that have an item in them. Let's go in there. Then how is that thrown out of whack if we found... because, like, you know, it doesn't accommodate the pit for that, or at least I don't think it does. So, let's kill stuff and hope for a drop. So we can start breaking said previous theory. So yeah, go on, Cam. So what are you saying as far as Anakim's advance then? Because I didn't like the rough numbers that I did when not Anakim's advance, Anakim's floor. I didn't like the rough numbers that I did, that it's just 20, like, because my numbers were rough at the time when I did it. So you're saying Anakim, it's just 20%, or, as you said, the difference between one cycle and another. But hang on, yeah, I was going to say, didn't you say that the difference between cycle is in health was 5%? Or what did you say health-wise? I can't remember now. I can't remember the numbers. I have counted so many numbers. 1. Oh, that was the orphan, wasn't it? Damn it. Good. I mean, good. Oh, no. 1. That was the orphan. So. 2. See you later, Skelly. Yeah, I've said a lot of numbers. As I said, the last time that I looked at Anakim's floor, I determined that it affects his health by approximately 20%. But then there was arguments within that of, is that his base health or the extra health that he gets per cycle? I just assumed it was 20% overall. So, in theory, we've got now something else that we can test. 3. Why you drop so many? So, now the other thing to note is look at the density of enemies killed in area and how many drops we've got. I'm sure this is a rarity. I don't know. But this is the effects of doing the pit first. Now, previously, we haven't had a single drop in the pit other than the orphan. Now, this time round, we've had 3, plus the orphan. 4. Because I'd like to be able to say, hey, you know how when you're going across a level and you kill all the things and all the stuff and you forget where it is? Well, imagine if all the things and the stuff was in here. But that is... So let's just count those up quick. We said that was 4. 1. And we'll take 1 off for the orphan. 2, 3. 4. 4. That's 4. 4 plus orphan. 5. So, hang on, let me just look at that a second. The results. That's a lot of numbers. The health increase across the cycle or just for Anakim? 1,000... 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7... That's like in the billions. Oh, right, okay, 20... Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I... If I remember rightly, that's what I did in the past, 20%. So, yeah, that's 4 in the pit. So, working theory now is we should see no more than 3 drops. No more than 3 drops. Wait, steady on, get me out of the stairs. From enemies across the level. But let's start from the beginning so we know. Because we also want to be looking for level drops. There's one already. So, what would we be looking for here to start making some accusations or drawing some conclusions? What would we be looking for to draw some conclusions? Well, if we've had 4 arrows in the pit, there should be 2 arrows across the level, 1 at Anakim's, and then we should get no more than 3 arrow drops across the stage. So let's put that to the test now and see what we come up with. Or at least this is the working theory of making use of this number 7 that Monsieur Beanie has given us. Gotta make sure we kill everything as well. 1. And we'll count them as separate as we can. 2. Oh, it's on the next bit. Two. Do hope you guys find this as interesting as I do. 2. All this counting is wonderful. 2. Find that I'm not able to just chat shit whilst counting. How annoying. 2. Otherwise I will definitely lose count. So, as I said, I'm hoping that we start getting some similar numbers here. Yeah, fine. Whatever, Beanie. I'm going to find something I can test where it involves me talking. Maybe how much verbals do I have to give to an archer per point of health to take off of it? I'd say at least 100 words per 10 HP. Can prove it too. Oi! There you see. Oh, that wasn't 100 words. 3. So. I don't know if that's a good reflection on you guys or a good reflection on me. No, that is true. This is another thing. Right, that is our first drop in the level. So we are at 3 and 1. So that's still within the rule that we have of... So we don't want to see any drops from any more enemies to be able to say, yes, there are 7 drops across the level from enemies. So we are 3 and 1. So we would expect to see 1 more drop in this section for us to be able to say there are always... always. For us to be able to say that there are always 3 loot level drops. I'm feeling good about this one. I don't think anything's going to drop. But yeah, yeah, that's a very good point. You guys did watch me tidy up and clean guns. So, which is obviously most appreciated. I appreciate all the support. So, I'm wondering where this level 1 is. Because I'd like to have a rule. Rules make things so much easier. Oh, there's a monk then. Hey, no. Doesn't count. That's the orphan. If it did count, it breaks the rule of 7, so we're saying it doesn't. Trying to think where... I know there's 2 more. I know the locations, or... I don't know, probably couldn't point to them. But I'm aware of the locations of where, like, the level drops are. Like, there's one usually there, or there can be one there. It's usually about, I don't know, it feels like between 3 and 5 spawn locations. So we're looking for 1 more spawn that's actually dropped in the level to have another, well, not hard and fast rule, but another rule. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter about the amount of loot that you should expect from a level. And there might be some small variation on this. Remember, we've only done a very small sample size. This is the going back to the whole cards thing. No. Going back to the whole cards thing and going, oh, right, so we've done this 3 times. The numbers have been the same. Ergo, it has to be this. And that's not... Oh, actually, no. Anakim's. There could be one on Anakim's. So we haven't had any more drops. So I'm starting to think 7 is a number for drops on enemies across a given level. Not necessarily all drops across a level. And it looks like that rule of 7 carries across into the pit also. Now, that's provided none of these drop anything anyway. Cheers, K2. So we knew that one was coming. No. That's 2. Come on. Where's this last one? I want another rule. I want another rule. I want another rule. We know that one already. There can be sometimes one on the outside here. There can be sometimes one on the outside here. I'm sure I've had one along there. There is the possibility that we might have missed one. That is a strong possibility. Well, not a strong possibility, it's a weak possibility at best. Expecting one to be down here somewhere. But like, for instance, on that whole confirmation bias thing, it would be within human nature for me to go, hang on, no, the numbers were right the first time and they haven't been right the first time and the second time and the third time, but they haven't been right the third time. That's got to be because I've miscounted. It couldn't possibly be that I'm wrong. So I would then probably go back through the level, try and recall what dropped and what didn't, have a lengthy conversation with chat along the lines of, hang on, no, this one was definitely a level drop. It wasn't an actual drop. This one's the one. This one's the one that I meant. The rule works. You know, this confirmation bias at its worst is when you're confirming the things through your own testing results when they're wrong. So that one's a little bit of a bust in one regard. Dinner and a show. Oh, you passed me up for dinner and a show. Disgusting. Nice one, Sean. See you soon. So, yeah, we have one thing. So we've had 2 or 3 runs now. Well, I'll tell you what, there's one way that we can determine all of this very quickly. Possibly. He says. Oh, fuck off. I didn't think I was standing in the portal then. Well, that's very good of you, Sean. Very good of you. But I've had dinner. Bring me back some dessert. Stuff it down the Oculus headset. That'll do me fine. Right, we've got to actually go down there and quit. I swear I wasn't in the circle when I did that. Probably was, though. Right, return sanctuary. So, what's the easiest way for me to determine whether there are always 3 level drops? Oh. Wasn't one of the drops in the pit not an actual drop but a loot? Like ground loot, I suppose. I can't remember. But again, is this confirmation bias going into fucking overdrive? I can't remember. that I think, I might be right there, I think one of the arrows in the pit was level loot. Because that can happen as well. Arrows, I think, sure of it. Well, actually, no, I can't be sure of it. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm having a quick look around in all the spaces that I know to try and find 3 level loots. And the easiest way to do that, traverse the level, don't kill anything, check the corners, I guess. Try not to kill anything anyway. And hopefully we'll find 2 whilst we're just cruising through. I'm going to use my little teleport trick. Yeah. I've actually found this whole holding the A button whilst you're... Oh, it doesn't work with the shield, though. Oh, that kind of makes it a bit shit, then. You can either have faster teleporting or shield whilst you teleport. I do like having shield whilst I teleport. That saved my bacon on a couple of occasions, because you don't need to be fast. Well, I was expecting these drops to be very prevalent. But yeah, because it's one of the achievements for pits is you will gain more rewards for completing pits. But I think there's also ones that are you will find more loot in pits. Can't remember, I'm going to have a check now. So none here. Which should mean there's either 2 or 1 across this next bit of level. God, I'm glad I'm not counting. Feel like I've been counting for so long. It's like 5 minutes. Nope. Nope, sorry, dude. Wrong place, wrong time kind of guy. There can be 1 there. I definitely know that much. Seen that one multiple times. It's one of the things that I've always thought about IDU. They should hide the level loot better than they do. Because it's usually 1, quite prominent. So that's 1. There could be 1 in Anakim's fortress, cathedral, monastery, ruin, insert Anakim thing here. There's definitely 1 at the end, so that's our 2. There's our 2. And down there. Had 1, I feel like I've had 1 in the back corner of that room there. I think someone, sorry dude, I think someone said, I think Mike said that you can have 1 here, maybe? Don't think I've seen that one myself. I'm pretty sure I've had 1 in here as well. So that's 2. So that's a bit of a bust. But there is a possibility. Now I feel I need to go and check the pit. Because the 3rd one, if all of my ramblings is correct, it might not be, but we can but hope. I'll check back through the level as I'm going as well. The one that we found was there. That's our 1. Stay high. I'm pretty sure I got all the low ones. Nope. Nope. Excuse me, guys and girls. Guys, rather. Definitely be 1 in those little antechambers. Checked out here. Definitely can be 1 in that corner. Sure, there can be one in here as well. No. No. No, the golden bat can be in that corner. Because that's another thing as well. This is part of the reason why, talking on the golden bat, it's part of the reason why I didn't include the orphan in my numbers. Because you can miss an orphan and not get the thing that the orphan had. So you can't then, because it's missable, you can't then count it. Oh, we've got one more section. Or you could, but, you know, I'm trying to make the figures easier for myself. But then, where does the golden bat factor into that as well? And I would have said that would have been the same thing with the orphan. Doesn't factor into the numbers, because I believe it's something that you can miss. So why are you guys up there? That was my doing, that's why. One of the things that I will say about doing all of this as well, because when I first started playing this game, there's no fucking way I would play it. Well, you'd never play it like this. But there's no way I'd just skip around the level willy-nilly, doing whatever I wanted to, and not killing enemies. But building up that level of familiarity with the game leads to this. And one of the ways of doing it is by doing exactly just what I did. That familiarity will help your game, will improve your game. You know little things like, I know I can teleport in front of that archer, and I've got a few seconds to do that, and a few seconds to do that, and keep on going. I'm using copious amounts of slow time whilst I'm doing all of this as well. So it's another nice little training exercise of doing this and not getting hit. Is it practical? What could you use this for? Well, definitely not bottom dwelling, but you could use it for rooftop hopping. I think if there was a level loot item, we would have seen it by now. So, we didn't pick up anything. Let's see what the numbers are like in here. Let's start killing things. Yeah, you're right. So, will we get any drops from these enemies? We're going to pick the orphan one up to make sure I don't count it. One. It doesn't make any odds. Just remember that I picked up the orphan's arrow and that anything that drops. Because then you've also got to wonder, if we've got a finite amount of drops across the level, and you could pick them up potentially in the pit, then would it stand to reason that you could potentially get higher loot drops, or higher tier loot drops? Still random chance, but higher tier loot drops. Because I don't know, again, could be confirmation bias, I don't know about anybody else, but whenever I've played Desolation, I always find that I get armor in the Desolation shops. Now, I don't know if that is exactly what I've been complaining about tonight, of you do a thing, you see a thing multiple times, and then you start trying to draw conclusions from it. But I think, as a general rule, the tiering of loot seems better in Desolation. Not by enough to force me to go there, and not regularly enough to force me to go there. Might have something to do with the golden bat, because we know that the golden bat is the reverse orphan. Not many points, but decent arrow. That's 2. Yeah. But then, you know, is that us going, because Desolation's got better drops than other levels? Is that even a thing? There's no way you could play the level enough to be able to start drawing that conclusion, I don't think. Because for each time that you draw that conclusion with Desolation, you probably get a Holy Armor and Purgatory as well. Oh, well, can't win against you then, can I? Ha! There's more in the walls. Oh no, they're just behind. So what did we say? That was... Oh, I'll have a check. I'll just have a check in a minute, but I think that was 2. Pit is now open. So we know we have killed 88% of the enemies in the level. Which means there ain't much left. Which means we probably won't get much more in the ways of drops. But yeah, so that is a good point, is with what was said earlier. You would want your drops not in the pit, but across the level. Because the level you can... Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's 2. Okay. But then even that could be, you know as well as I do, that's not a good enough sample of data. So what we say in there, Al said 2, I think he's right. So, what can we draw from the little lesson that we're learning here? I would draw the conclusion. So I'm thinking there can be, I think it might be a random number of arrows that are dropped as level loot, and they have nothing to do with the game loot that you are dropped from enemies. Oh, hang on. Wasn't there a... Hang on, so there's a blood lamb there. Let's make sure. Yeah, well, but, you know, got to start somewhere, haven't you? And then it's whether you do that. 2. Is it just... Yeah, it was just the 2. I didn't see a third blood of the lamb, did I? Like, I'd put the arrow in there if I was going to, like, hide loot around the level. I'd at least make a search for it. Yes, Cam. Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's how I play it anyway. This isn't a secret. Main entrance by door. Yeah. Oh, which one? Because there's 2 main entrances. Well, you talk, I'll do it. Well, that's very descriptive. Which door? Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's this one. Oh, no, that's not a door. Look at the door. So look at this door, yes? Then turn 180. Or look at that door, then turn 180. Oh, is there a platform down there? Something in there? Never looked. Oh, very good, Cam. Oh, look at that. I tell you what, that's Well done, Cam. That's nice. I like it. Ow. Oh, it lets you walk straight. Well, I suppose most cat platforms do. It lets you walk straight off the edge into the lava. Oh, that's not very forgiving either. That's, yeah. I mean, the thing that I don't like is you can't get very close to the edge of that platform, so this is like an oversight bit of platformy goodness, I think. Ow. Can't get up there either. But this does have practical applications in that you could come here if you wanted to pause your headset or leave it running whilst being safe-ish. I'm wondering what you could do. It'd be too tight for luring ghosts down to it. It's also potentially dangerous to get across here as well. Very good, Cam. Well done. I didn't even think to look in there. To be fair, I've never even used that other than to shoot a skeleton across from here or teleport across. Well, not like that, obviously. So what are we saying? We're saying we had 2 in here. So... well, ghosts will come through the walls. I shouldn't have to tell you that based on the last video you did. But yeah. Nurse, I suppose, see, skeleton archers wouldn't teleport down there, would they? No, if skeleton archers came down there, but they won't because they wouldn't have the real estate. Warm. Gonna do some quick testing whilst we're... So I'm saying... Don't know if I'm willing to stake reputations on it yet. Oh, I'll stake Cam's reputation on that there should be 5 normal... steady. 4 normal drops... sorry, 5 or 4 more normal drops across this level because we've had 2 in the pit. It would be good if you actually tested to see if skeletons will come down there with you. I don't think they would. Skeleton warriors would, because they don't mind teleporting out into your face. But skeleton warriors aren't the threat you would deal. I suppose it allows you to be quite efficient with your hand of God. I'll have a look next time I get... Oh, bloody hell. Oh, he's going to die on the first cycle. Twice in the tutorial, now the first cycle. Jesus. Might have to pick up one of these other 4 drops. Two. I can't go back and recount. Right, 2. No, hang on. Not 2. So, we did 2 in pit. We found 2 drops now. So there should be 3 more drops. Not coming back here. There should be, just so I don't die, there should be 3 more drops, standard drops, from enemies across the level. I know, right? 3 more drops. We're also looking for ones that are in the level as well, because I think they are classed as different. Yeah, no, that was definitely from an enemy. Hey. Oh, you prick. Got me all confuzzled then. So 3 more drops and potentially 1 or 2 across the level as level loot. Yeah, you didn't see it earlier. I managed to die in the tutorial twice, Cam. 2 left. Don't even think you're supposed to be able to die in the lava, but I found a way. Nature finds a way. Because it's one thing that I've always found Oh yeah, you can walk into the lava, no problem. So one of the things that I've always found with the game is it always feels like, whether it is or it isn't, again, going back to confirmation bias, it always feels like you get a lot of your drops in the first half of the level and not towards the end. Hence why we always end up having to go back for drops. I'm not saying it's always the case, but might be. So there should be one more drop left from enemies. And bear in mind, this is quite a big statement to make because there are a lot of enemies. What did I say? One or none? Yeah, one more left. Out of all of... One more drop out of all of the enemies. God, my memory is shocking. That's level loot. Oh, is that level loot? No, that was a kill. Look, see, I'm doing it already. Hang on, Cam, what did I say? Did I say there should be one more drop across the entire rest of the game, or none? I can't remember how many we had now. Fuck! Don't blame me if you aren't paying attention. Let's just see. So the next thing that we need to do, right, so that should be, if I think I was right there, that should be our last drop now. So we shouldn't drop, yeah, I think I said one more left. Yeah, so there should, so reputation time on the line, Cam. I'm staking your reputation on the fact, because I wouldn't stake my own because I'm not that positive yet. There should be not another single drop from enemies. They're all in weird positions because I leapt through this one. Across the entire rest of the game. Or rest of this cycle from enemies. Orphan doesn't count, as we know, because we can't really determine that as a normal enemy, because it is not guaranteed that we would be able to kill it. I would, as I was saying before, I would put golden bats in the same category. Right, so that's the level loot one. Was that next? Oh no, that's the fucking orphan. I'm getting all worried. No, the numbers are lying to me. Right. Done. That one's level loot. We know that one. We haven't found another level loot one. Yes, yeah, and that basically matches up with what Beanie has said. Because, like, for instance, it's part of the reason why I test this, because it was also Beanie who said about the whole scoring system in his streams, and as said about it being a night tick. The problem is, we've all then thought, oh, so you either need to be close range or really far away. Don't be in the middle because you score less. Now, that's not the case. That isn't how that night tick works. What he should have qualified it with is that's based on enemy HP. So what is the best shot for you to take over time on enemies that have high hit pools? Because at distance, you always want to take long shots. Well, for any enemy, you always want to keep the shot as long as possible. Being in that middle distance, it's basically a determining factor of taking more HP away from enemies without scoring well from it. You would be, in that circumstance, you would be better off taking less HP from enemies and scoring better from it up close, or scoring worse but taking less HP off of the enemy so that you can get more hits. So we know that's 2 on the level. Haven't seen a third, which is a bit annoying. But then, as I said, we might have missed one, but I doubt it. I could have leapt onto a blood and needed the life or something along those lines. Possibly. Don't think so, though. Again, I think I'm clutching here. So, still haven't seen any more drops, which is good. A lot of enemies in here. Shouldn't be any drops. Because another reason why I wanted exact numbers is you got to wonder, because games do this, if there is always supposed to be a finite and set number of things in a level, and you keep on finding that set number of things in a level, and then every now and again you can't find one, is that because the rule doesn't work? I.e., is that because there are not always 1 drop at Anakims and 2 other drops across the level? Is it because there is 1 drop at Anakims, 1 drop across the level, or 2 drops across the level, but 1 has been put in a spawn point that people have fucking forgotten about that is unreachable? It's a possibility, because you can't reach... I don't think I've ever tried that, but I don't see why you would be able to. I don't think you can reach through objects for drops. In fact, I'm like fucking 90% certain you can't. Better go and check now. Yeah, I'm like fucking... Yeah, of course you can't. Because I've had loads of times where I've had to angle myself to grab something really far back in the level. So there is a possibility, like for instance, it could be that the rule is that you always get 3... because there's something I now want to go and check. You always get 3 items of loot across a level. 1 at Anakim's and 2 across the level as you play it. Now, one thing I do want to go and have a look at quickly is the achievements board. Because this is what I'm trying to cause an effect at the moment, is there are 3 things that determine loot on Purgatory. So, because there are 3 things, can we say that one of those 3 things is the loot at Anakim's? Because that isn't always there, if I'm right. I don't think on a 0% profile, which we'll check in a minute, that the reward at Anakim's is actually there. So let's have a quick look a second. How many drops can a wood dropper drop when a wood dropper can't drop wood? Is that what you wanted to know? So basically, there are, I believe it is 7 across enemies in a level. It's between 2 and 3 loot. I don't know if there is a ratio, and I doubt there would be. Perdition, Keys to Heaven, Purgatory, Orphans are trapped, gain 1 health. Orphans are trapped. Purgatory. Adds more hidden treasure to Purgatory. Adds more hidden treasure to Purgatory. Adds more hidden treasure to Purgatory. This is why I have the number 3 locked in for hidden loot across a level. Because there are 3. And the one thing that I did find when I was doing golden bat testing is per increase the reward that you can get from the golden bat seemed to feel like it was increasing the tier of the arrows until it only drops top tier, but it doesn't always drop them, but then we don't know what's in top tier. There's an easy way to do this thing. Well, there's a definite way to do it, and it would be to complete purgatory in 38 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. Because that involves waiting around a lot. Right, let's change profile. And let's reset this one. Oh, 2 seconds. Just going to go online a second. I saw a really good tutorial on how to reset your profile. I think it was Cam who did it. A little bit shameless plug in there for you, Cam. So settings, reset game process, confirm. This will reset the game progress for the file that you are on. I do not care about my file 2. I care about my file 1 and my file 3. And the only reason being is because my file 1 was complete, my file 2 was in progress, my file 3, but my file 2 I was using to reset stuff when I didn't think I needed 3 profiles, and my profile 3 was the first time I attempted the 0% achievement thing. Also note, you do not reset your Siege of Heaven progress, so we've still got that on profile 2 for continuing that whenever we continue it. Yeah, Siege of Heaven and this are 2 separate things. To be fair, the sigil should be as well. Once you've unlocked it on one, it should be across all. But hey ho. So what we're going to try now is we definitely haven't got the anything. Oh, is it? Hang on. Nah, 10:30. 35%. We'll check this and then we'll call it a night there because I think we're getting to the point now where we can start drawing some conclusions. And then the other thing, the way that you guys can help with this is where you can be my sample size and set. You can, you know, as you're going through the levels, try and be mindful of how many there are. It is within advantage to do so, because if I'm right on the numbers, you could determine whether you even need to go into the pit to get decent drops. I get the impression that if you killed everything in the level first, you won't get any. Well, you definitely won't get any drops in the pit. No, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I suppose the conclusion we could reach, as was said. Ah, okay. Well, that's interesting. There's one piece of level loot. And we haven't even unlocked there are extra rewards in the world. Interesting. I know, right? What a guy. No, I'll determine these things. What a guy. Okay. Wrong. So that is always there. Because this is one of the things that I've always questioned. Because it's never been determined. No one's ever looked at it. I don't know if you need to look at it. But I'm starting to draw the conclusion now that this is where I realise that I've deleted my profile 1. Nope, still got it. Still got it, Cam. Still got it. Didn't delete the wrong profile by accident. I am under the impression that these ones, I don't think they actually do. Adds more hidden treasures. Yeah, so that's one of the things for it. Adds more hidden treasures to Desolation. There's trials for each one of the levels. Complete it in such and such time. I have a theory that these are just achievements, because I've never I've never been able to correlate this with what you find in the level. I've never been able to like get this unlocked and go, oh, now there'll be like things that you can pick up in such and such places. And I thought that always pointed to the loot that you find on levels. No, it doesn't say it adds better like the Golden Bat one does. It says adds more hidden treasure to Desolation. I mean, depends on what is Desolation. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking. Adds more hidden treasures to Desolation. That doesn't necessarily mean... That's right. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is... It's badly worded if it is. It should say something like, if Cam's correct, and I tend to agree with him on that, enemies have a higher chance, or more enemies will drop more loot, is what that should say, not adds more hidden treasures to Desolation. This is badly worded if that's the case, but it is very intriguing. And on that bombshell, we shall end it there. I've probably got a little bit of battery life, so I'll probably do a little bit more. But yeah, thank you all again for watching me basically dick about. We can determine some things that, I think across a level, including the pit, there are 7 drops. I think that there are across a level, bear in mind we've only just tested Purgatory, between 2 and 3 drops across the level, including the one at Anakim's lair. What conclusion could we draw from this? It would be better to clear a level and have all of your drops laid out before you, because you should get them all unlocked across the level before you go into the pit, which is a good way to play anyway, because then you can prep yourself before you go into the hard part. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you all very much for your time. I have been Silver Tongue Devil. Good night.